All right, so I have the instructions. Rick Degagne, you are first up. Rick was a threat as a hitter on the offensive side of the game, and when he was on the mound as a pitcher, he was stingy, allowing few hits and fewer runs in all the games that he had pitched for. His playing time was primarily as a pitcher for the successful Minto Mustangs Fastball Club, but Rick also played with a number of other teams, including in the Kenora Keewatin Fastball League from 1975 to 1982, where he was selected a league all-star in 1978 and 79 and a playoff MVP in 1980. Rick moved to Manitoba and made his debut in the Brandon Centennial Fastball League in 1982 and in the Southwest Fastball League in 1985. Rick received several all-star awards in the different leagues, and he attended 6 Western Canadian Championships where he represented Manitoba at the intermediate A level. In 1987, Rick was honored to be recognized as the player of the game of the Western Intermediate A Championships after pitching his team to a win over the Northwest Territories 4-1 and going 3 for 3 at the plate. In 1988, his team, the Minto Mustangs, won the Intermediate A Western Canadian Gold Medal, and in 1992, he was part of the team that achieved a bronze medal finish at the Intermediate A Championships. Rick Degagne is an inductee in the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame for 2020 in the athlete category.
The stage is yours.
Stage is mine, says Murray. Okay. Glasses, those here. Hello, everyone, and thanks for coming to this induction banquet and ceremony this evening. It's been a long time coming, right? I'd like to begin by thanking Murray Blight and the organizing and selection committees for their hard work behind the scenes over the past 2+ years that is paying off today with this celebration. I'd also like to congratulate my fellow inductees, the 5 individuals and 2 teams for their achievements in the sport of softball. As I look at the list of inductees and players on the Sports Traders and Colonels teams, I am truly humbled and honored with this Hall of Fame induction. And on a personal note, not supposed to go off script here a little bit, but I will. Gary Magwood, Red, was always a tough person to play against. Tough teams in Saunders versus Minto, always battles. It was always better having him on our team than playing against him. And Charlie Kurtz, I didn't realize Charlie had such a storied background in umpiring. Charlie is one of our basketball officials, and I'm a part of that Manitoba community as well, so he's quite a fine gentleman. Congratulations to him. When you begin to prepare for an event like this, you can't help but do a fair bit of reflection on life, sport, and of course, softball. Like many people here today, my memories of softball started at a very young age. My 4 younger siblings and I would play in the yard, 3 versus 2 for what seemed like going on for hours. My first true teammates. My sister is here today. Thanks, Ange, for coming. My mom and my brother Pierre. Recess and lunch duty or lunchtime at school were opportunities to play scrub or 500 with friends. A lot of sandlot ball is what it was. I just loved playing the sport. But it wasn't until junior high that I had a chance to actually play on a team. So I'm 13 years old. The phys ed teacher needed a couple of kids to pitch, so I volunteered. I signed up for a lot of things that I didn't know what I was actually signing up for. So I signed out a ball to practice outside against the gym wall, stepped off about 10 paces and started to pitch. This can't be that tough, right? Well, I was wrong. There's this thing called release point that I discovered all by myself, but I didn't know what it was called at the time. You'd think that a gym wall from 20 feet would be an easy target to hit. Not true. Somehow I managed to launch the ball onto the roof of the gym on more than one occasion. I wasn't that good. The janitor, seeing me go outside to practice, would instinctively go grab the ladder. With more practice, I could actually pitch to a person with a glove. As the pitchers in the crowd here know, you need to have that volunteer to catch for you. Usually a parent, a sibling, a friend. And of course, isn't that the real reason we have younger brothers? Bev, I know you have 3 brothers, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Pierre, thanks again for being here. He did a lot of my catching in those formative years. All the low pitches in the dirt that would bounce and hit him in the shin and the chest and all over, well, Pierre, those were my fault. But the higher pitches that you couldn't catch and sometimes broke a garage window, those were all your fault. And of course, that's at least what I told our dad anyway. So in those days, we figured out I had 3 pitches: a strike, a ball, and NC, and which stands for no clue. So I know the Minto guys are chuckling right now. I'd like to recognize and thank my teammates who were also the catchers on the teams I played with: my brother Pierre, Ken Wilcox, Kenora, Ron Popplestone from Red Fox, and my Minto catchers, Bill Campbell, Dean Fuller, and Kevin Bartley. You guys were all great. Thanks. Fast forward to the Minto days with my first teaching job in Boisevine and Minto being only 15 minutes away. I thought if they needed some extra players, maybe they would take me on. Thanks to Bev, Bill, Smokey, and the rest of the team for giving me a chance to be a part of the Mustangs. By then I had developed some real pitches, right? Rise, drop, curve. But NC was still a part of my repertoire. Story time. Most of the 82 team here will remember my pitching debut in a home game versus the City Center Cougars. Outstanding ball club. Darryl Beamish was in the game. Hey, Darryl. And if he doesn't recollect some of the details, that's understandable, and you'll all know why shortly. So I'm wanting desperately to pitch well and make a positive impression with my new teammates. But sometimes, when you try too hard, you tighten up and some things just don't go well. Release point being one of them. I didn't really know the City Center team. They didn't know me. But I knew the only thing I did know was that they were a very good team full of all-stars, and they had the top 3 hitters in the league, with Darryl batting leadoff. Well, first pitch, NC, right to the screen. Second pitch, NC. Drilled Darryl right here on the side of the head. And thank God for helmets, right? Next batter, you guys were all gasping. Where's Darryl? He's still breathing, folks. He's still breathing. Next batter, 2 balls and 2 NCs right to the screen. Not looking good. Third batter was Rick Halady, who was an outstanding hitter as well. First pitch, NC, right in the ribs. 7 pitch, again, you're gasping. It wasn't that pretty for sure. 7 pitches, 3 balls, 4 NCs, 0 strikes, bases loaded, and nobody out. How do you like me so far, Minto? Not sure how, but we got out of the inning with no runs allowed. Second inning was 3 up, 3 down, so we're looking better. Third inning, Darryl's batting up again. First pitch, NC, and I hit him right in the middle of the bat. By then, the Cougars were looking for some raw meat, and they're all glaring right at me. Fortunately, things settled down, and we had no more issues that game. Darryl, I hope there's no lingering effects from that game. That was 40 years ago this month when I made that inauspicious debut. My consistency and control, however, did improve over the years, but the odd NC was still there just to keep the hitters uncomfortable in the batter's box. Not by design. Another Minto memory that really sticks out with me is nicknames. I've used a couple already. Pretty much everyone had a nickname. Smokey, Tex, Turk, Rookie, Speedo, Cease, etc. These guys are my new teammates, and I'm trying to get to know them and learn their real names first. I remember a game early on where Bev or Bill was giving the lineup for the outfielders. Rookie on left, Spud in center, Fuzzy in right field. I looked at Corny Hebert and I said, "Corny, you're not starting this game?" He replied, "Yes, I am. I'm Fuzzy." And I said, whoa, that's a lot of information. I just met this guy. But here we go. Guys are having more than one nickname, so this is going to be tougher than I thought. And then, of course, there's variations on the nicknames. Dean was Ding, and Dinger, and Ding Boy. And yeah, by the way, I had a nickname, thanks to Cease. I'm not sure if the team knows, but I hated it at first, but over time I became quite attached to it. If you want to find out what it is, just check with my teammates later. I share this view with you all because, in my view, it demonstrates part of the unique identity and culture within the team. The core group were friends and brother combinations from grade school right through their playing days and right to the present time. They were a close-knit group whose outstanding playing skills were closely matched by their camaraderie, displayed both on and off the field. It was like having an invisible 10th man on the field that helped the team through some tough times, winning 7 provincial championships and 10 tournament finals in about a 13-year period. We had some star players for sure, but there was always a feeling with our team that someone in the lineup was going to pick the group up if a teammate faltered, get a key hit, make a great catch, steal a base, strike out a hitter. These are definitely signs of a championship team, which we were. For those of you who may not know, Minto is a small town of about 100 people. Gordy, is that about right? Yep. About 100 people. On a good day. On a good day. 30 minutes straight south of Brandon, a farming community. But that didn't stop the team from traveling all over the province, out west, into the States to play the best competition we could find. And we had a committed group of followers, family and friends in the bleachers supporting us as we barnstormed across the province, helping us create so many great memories. As Bill Campbell stated in a 1988 story written by Boys of A resident Randy Turner for the Winnipeg Free Press, Bill said, we weren't scared to get beat. We would play anybody, anytime, at any tournament. And I could easily relate with this attitude and embrace the culture within the team and consider myself extremely fortunate to have been a member of the Minto family. Final thought. After winning the 1988 Westerns in Richmond, BC, Billy, I don't know if you remember this conversation, but you and I were having a refreshment or two and philosophizing about the team while relishing in our latest achievement. And Bill mentioned to me how he never wanted or needed to be the star player on any team. He said that he viewed a team to be like a wheel, and all he ever wanted was to be a single spoke on that wheel. You know, it's a metaphor that once again highlights the humility and the unselfish persona of Bill and the rest of my awesome teammates. Every spoke contributes to the strength and ultimate success of the wheel's performance. It's a philosophy that I've endorsed ever since. I don't know if you know this, Bill, but since our conversation as a coach of dozens and dozens of sports teams, I have shared this with so many young athletes, including Matthew and Danielle, my son and daughter, this viewpoint and your analogy of what a team truly should be. An image of a spoked wheel that people can take away from sport and apply to other aspects of life. How awesome is that? I'm sure it has made a difference in their lives, and I know it has in mine, and for this I am truly grateful. Thank you very much.